It's beginning to look a lot like fall. Everywhere I go, we have leaves falling everywhere, getting inside my hair, with cozy sweaters and pumpkins everywhere. Hey, hi, hello, and welcome back, my fellow book dragons, nerds, and worms. I'm Nettie, and today is TBR time. Happy fall, everyone. I don't know if you guys know this, but September kicks off the prequel of all prequels to my favorite time of the year. It is sweather weather season, people. I'm excited to start this list, but before we do that, let me give you this disclaimer very quickly. I know I'm not going to be able to finish everything that I'm about to present you guys on my September TBR, but I don't believe this list to be an actual to be read list. It's more of a suggestion for me, a SBTR list, if you will, a suggested books to read list instead of a actual set in stone list, because I'm a mood reader and I based my readings off of what I'm feeling for that month or what I am feeling for that particular season. In this case, it is fall, which means I try to cram as many cozy mysteries, cozy fantasies, cozy romanticities, historical fictions, fairy tales, retellings as I can into the season. So with that being said, let's jump into this list. So we're starting this list off with my most anticipated book of the summer, which was The Bonesmith Duology by Nicki Pedro. So I read this book back in April, right? Fell in love. I can't even give you the words to describe how much I love this book. But I do. I love it very, very, very much. To the point where when I found out that we are getting the second book this summer, I was just like, oh, it's going on our 4TBR as a reread. Sorry, Coco moved. We're getting the second book as a reread for the fall. We're going to be getting this story from beginning to end. I freaking loved everything about this book, all the way down to the magic system, the relationship between Ren and Julian, all the craziness that happens, all the magic lore and stuff that you learn throughout this book. It is just so good. It is so good, and I can't wait to jump into this. So my library doesn't have the second book just yet, but as soon as they get it in, I'm the first one that gets to check it out. So you best believe as soon as this second book comes in, we're devouring it. We are devouring this series from beginning to end and to beginning, because it's just that good. It really is. Go pick it up so we can talk about it. The next book I plan on picking up for September is An Enchantment of Ravens by Margaret Rogerson, I believe is how you pronounce her name. I could be wrong. But in this book, we are following Isabel, who is a stunning artist with a very dangerous clientele, the fair folks. So these immortal creatures cannot touch anything crafty. They can't bake bread. They can't put a pen to paper without bursting into dust. So they have to trade with the humans, and they trade their crafts for a magical enchantment. So when Isabel gets her first royal client, the Prince of Autumn, Rook, she makes a deadly mistake in accidentally drawing mortal sorrow in his eyes, which unleashes a cacophony of troubles that we go on in this book. So I can't wait to pick it up. I actually have been waiting to pick this book up since January because I picked it up and read like the first page and I was like, no, this is a fall book and we're going to wait until fall comes out so that we can enjoy this book in the right season. And that's what we're going to do. This next book is actually a reread of mine, and it's a reread from a couple years because I got my Breathe tattoo the same time. Long Live the Pumpkin Queen by Shea Ernshaw. When I read this book, I was just in love, in tears, and happy because it's just a beautiful book to read during this time of the year. And I also kind of want to do a video revolving around this book. I'm not quite sure of how I'm going to do it just yet because I know I have to watch the movie The Nightmare Before Christmas and then start this book because the book picks off right after the movie with Sally Skeleton being the official newly minted Pumpkin Queen after a whirlwind courtship with her true love, Jack. Sally adores Jack with every inch of her fiber seems, if only she could say the same for her new role as Queen of Halloween Town. Casted into the spotlight and tasked with all sorts of queenly duties, Sally can't help wondering if she traded her captivity under Dr. Frankenstein for a different gilded cage. But when Sally and Zero accidentally uncover a long-hidden doorway to an ancient realm called Dreamtown, she unknowingly sets in motion a chain of sinister events that will put her future as Pumpkin Queen and the future of the Pumpkin Town itself in jeopardy. Can Sally discover what it means to be true to herself and save the town she learned to call home? Or will her future turn into her worst nightmare? This next set of books is another reread for me, and they are the Caraval series by Stephanie Garber, starting with Caraval, Legendary, and lastly, Final. Oh, I can't wait to jump back into this book. Scarlett and Julian are the reason that my little black hole beats to the sound of their love. I just can't wait to get back into this book. With that being said, in this book, we have a legendary competition, a mesmerizing romance, an unbreakable bond between two sisters. Welcome to Caraval. Beware of getting swept too far away. I can't wait to jump into this book again, and I can't wait to mark up my copy of the book because I have the special edition that we're not going to touch, but we are going to ruin this one. We are. These next set of books is another reread for me, but it's a reread in preparation for me to pick up her next series in October, and they are Stalking Jack the Ripper series by Kerri Maniscalco, I believe is how you pronounce her name. Don't come for me in the comments. Anywho, the series starts with Stalking Jack the Ripper, hunting Prince Dracula, escaping Houdini, and lastly, capturing the devil. In the series, we are following Miss Aubrey Rose as she's trying to become a forensic scientist, and she's apprenticing under her uncle while he is trying to figure out who this latest killer is. And as Aubrey helps him discover this truth, she discovers that it might be a little too close to home. And that's just the start of it. We get so much in each one of these books. We get the beautiful Aubrey, we get the beautiful, handsome, tall, gorgeous Thomas Cresswell. And we watch them go on a cacophony of adventures and mysteries and solving and cutting up dead bodies. It's a fun ride. I highly suggest you pick it up during the fall season and or winter season. This is a good series to pick up. This next book comes actually as a suggestion from Hannah over at the Clockwork Reader. She suggests everyone reads this book because it happens to be her favorite book. And based off of how she talks about the book, Boo Boo Kitty, it might be my favorite too. And that is The Night Circus by Erin Morgenstern. So, I believe we are following behind a magical circus that have two of their apprentices battling to the death, but neither one of them know that, is what I've gathered from the synopsis. I could be wrong, but I'm in it for the vibes, okay? I don't really need to know what's going on. I just want to know if the writing is as beautiful as Hannah claims. Okay? That's all I'm here for. That's all. With this next book, I'm pretty sure I should probably wait until October to pick it up, but like I live my life as why nots, you know? So with this book, it's more of a why not start it right now. You know? Night Film by Marissa Pressel. So with this one, the synopsis is a little confusing, but let me break it down for you. So we are following this detective as he gets this case where this girl supposedly committed suicide, but he doesn't think so because she is the daughter of the renowned cult horror director back in the day, and he has a slimy past, so he's thinking that his past has like caught up with him with his daughter, and he is trying to figure out what is happening, and that is this book here. I also just realized that this book has mixed media in it because I just bought the audiobook last night because I plan on picking this up very, very soon. And it comes with like all the mixed medias. So I think that that's really interesting. And this book is really heavy, so that means it's probably a very, very lengthy book. And I just can't wait to be up at night listening to the rain, reading this book, trying to figure out what happened to this poor girl, you know? That's why I'm even with the dark mystery elements to books. We have If We Were Villains by M.L. Rio. In this book, we are following Oliver as he gets released for allegedly murdering someone. And as he's getting out of prison, the officer that was investigating it the first go round asks Oliver what actually happens, and that's where the story begins. And I'm super excited too because this is technically my first dark academia, which I'm excited for. I really am. I can't wait to pick this up because it also has like Shakespearean, there we go, tones in this. So I'm excited to see where this book takes me. This next book I just picked up because it just looks fall. It looks so fall to me. The Glass Town Games by Cynthia M. Valente, I believe is how you say it. Valente. I could be wrong. I'll have her name like somewhere on the screen so you can actually see it. But like, tell me this cover doesn't scream fall to you. Just go ahead, tell me. I won't believe you, but you can tell me. Ugh, it's so good. Okay, so from what I think is happening in this book, I could be so wrong. We are following the Bronte siblings as they conjure up this world that they are playing in when suddenly two of the sisters have to go to boarding school, Charlotte and Emily. And on their way to the boarding school, they get zapped into the world that they created, which is fine and dandy. At least they're in the world that they created, right? Wrong. Two of the siblings get kidnapped, and it's up to Emily and Charlotte to get them back and hopefully get themselves home and keep Napoleon from entering into real world England. So yeah, I think that's what this book is about. I could be wrong. Either way, I'm gonna eat it up because it just sounds very interesting. A made-up world with Napoleon. Let's go. Let's go. This next book I know is a duology, but I wasn't sure if I was going to enjoy the first book, so I only picked up the first one, and that is The Hazelwood by Melissa Albert. Alice and her mom have spent most of Alice's life on the road, always always a step ahead of the uncanny bad luck biting at their heels. But when Alice's grandmother, the recluse author of books of pitch dark fairy tales, that's what it says, dies alone on her estate, the Hazelwood, Alice learns how bad her luck really gets when her mother is stolen away by a figure who claims to have come from the cruel supernatural world where her grandmother's stories are set. Alice's only lead is the message her mother left behind. Stay away from the Hazelwood. Right? I'm telling you guys, I think I picked a good list. Next book is something I didn't even know was a children literature book. And then also I didn't know that it was a children's book. So, yeah. The Secret Garden by, I'm not even going to try to pronounce that name, but that person right there. Yes. I decided to do the children's book version of the book just because, why not? Look at how pretty these are. Like, you mean to tell me you want me to sit here and not have these beautiful visuals to look at because it's a children's literature book? It's a classic? Okay. Sure. Why not? Anywho, in this book we are following a little girl who is chronically ill, and she gets sent to this manor, and on this manor she finds this garden, and it's magical and it's beautiful, and we discover it along with her. The last book on this list is Uprooted by Novik. Okay, so I know this book is technically a retelling of some sort, but I don't remember which retelling. I'll have it somewhere on the screen, but let me read you this. It says, and I quote, "Our dragon doesn't eat the girls he takes. No matter what stories they tell outside our village, we hear them sometimes from travelers passing through. They talk as though we were doing human sacrifices, and he was a real dragon. Of course that's not true. He may be a wizard and an immortal, but he's still a man. And our fathers would band together and kill him if he wanted to eat one of us every 10 years. He protects us from the wood, and we're grateful, but not that grateful." I know. I don't even know what is happening, but it says dragons, so therefore I'm picking it up. And I heard that Novik is like the perfect author to pick up during the wintry, fall-y seasons, so why not try one of hers? And then I think this is her debut novel. I think. Let me see. Or maybe not. I could be wrong. But I think it's her debut novel. 2015. I don't know. Maybe. I will have that somewhere on the screen as well if it is or isn't. But I can't wait to pick this up. I've been wanting to read something from her for a very long time, and I didn't think the blue one, right? Spindle is what it's called. I don't think that was a good book to start for September. I feel like that's more of a November book than it is a September book. So we're starting with Uprooted. Yeah. So these are all the books that I've decided to pick up for the month of September. Let me know what you guys are deciding to pick up for this month. If you have read any of these books and what you have thought of them, I would love to discuss it with you guys. Happy fall once more. I hope you guys are going to have a fantastically beautiful fall. But until next time, there's an adventure waiting. Bye.